Hello, everyone. I want to share with you today about the importance of therapy and how much does therapy influence our life and the difference between investing money, finances, time, and energy into doing inner work compared to investing time, energy, money in looking for outside experiences to make you happy permanently. As we know, we have tried for many years maybe to look for that feeling of fulfillment, of happiness in looking for outside pleasures, outside experiences that make us happy, fulfilled, in love. And that one way or another, when those experiences have come to an end, when those people have left our lives, or we have left their lives, those feelings changed from positive to negative to harmful feelings. And what that was telling us was that happiness that we are looking for is not outside, that fulfillment, that love is not in another person, it's not in anything outside of us, but within us. And after those experiences were coming to an end, and those negative emotions were coming to the surface because we thought that things didn't happen the way we wanted them to happen, in that moment, those negative emotions are telling us to look within so we can see why we are counting on the outside to change the inside, instead of knowing that the inside, and once you've changed the inside, changes the outside, and the outside changes. As everything is being created from within ourselves, we are creators. We are gods of our own reality. And once we grasp that, understand that we create our reality, and the creative force of the universe comes through us, through our actions, through our words, then we learn to take responsibility for the inner world. We learn to want to know ourselves more, discover ourselves more, see who we are and who we are not, what feelings we want in our lives. Excuse me for that. That's how we learn as well lessons. Things happen. For example, in this case for me, this happened during a video. The next time I know that when I start a video, I switch my phone off, like I will do now, to make sure that this will not happen again. Because you see, this is why situations happen in our lives. Situations happen in our lives so we can learn and apply differently. Mistakes, as they are also called, happen so we see what works, what doesn't work, and how to use this lesson for a greater future experience. It doesn't happen so we feel bad. It doesn't happen so we blame ourselves or blame anyone, or blame the person that called me, for example, in this case. Oh, it's their fault. They should have not called me now. Why are they calling me now? Don't they know that I'm filming a video? A lot of times we do this. We speak this anger at others when we are responsible for our own lives, for everything that is happening in our own lives, as we are creators. As I was saying, investing money, time, energy into your own inner work with that specific teacher, guide, guru, call it whatever you like. As long as that person that you resonate with and that you want to you feel that he or she could help you, your heart would always tell you, yes, I feel that I could get help from this person. I feel that I resonate with this person and with this person's teachings. As long as that person is helping you, pointing you deeper within yourself, helping you come in contact with your own inner power, which is exactly the same as his or hers inner power. It's not more or less. It's just the knowledge that is different based on how much you have released from yourself that is no longer of service. If that person helps you go in contact with your own inner god or goddess, that is for your greatest good. If that person makes you dependent on him or her, as if you would not be able to do anything without that person, that experience is making you more addicted to the outside, to a person, to the teachings of one. The best teachings you could get, in my opinion, and from what I experienced in my life, is the teachings from your own inner master. If one can help you get in contact with your own inner master, knowing that you do not depend on anything and anyone, helping you to help yourself, empower yourself, and find that infinite reservoir of life and love that you are, then that's how you reach, let's say, nirvana, fulfillment, enlightenment. Because enlightenment is being yourself, being the truth of who you are. It's not something only some masters after 20 years of being in a cave without seeing light, the light of the sun. For many, many years, they've become enlightened and now they have attained the universal truth. To attain the universal truth, you need to attain yourself by removing first those emotions and limiting beliefs that are telling you who you are. Not enough, limited, poor, stupid, evil, bad, wrong, weak, superior, inferior. All those are coming from fear. Once you remove the root of all fears and all pain from within you, life will then be able to flow through you with no obstacle. The energy would flow freely. And once the energy flows freely through you, and you removed what has been of suffering inside you, based on past experiences, childhood, based on what others have done to you or what you have done to others, consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, then once your life within changes and you've reached that place of inner fulfillment with yourself, you know who you are, you understand life within you, you understand your own experiences, you see them from a different perception, with light and true wisdom and understanding, then your life outside completely changes because your subconscious changes as well. Light, it flows through your subconscious. Truth flows through your subconscious. Energies of abundance flow through your subconscious. Your words change because you don't feel anymore to use anymore obstructive words to stop yourself and stop your own power, like I cannot do this or let me do this. When you say let me do this, when you tell to another let me do this, is as if you are asking for permission. Let me do this, as if they have power over you, as if they are your gods and you are not your own god. You are your own god and you decide what to do with your power. You give it or you use it for your own greatest good. And once you reach that place of I am my own master, I am my own God, and you take responsibility for what is yours, because you can't be you're God, but I don't take responsibility for what is mine, I blame the others. That is being, let's say, more like a mortal rather than a God. Because the God is responsible, is congruent with himself. Yes, this is in me, this is mine, I take responsibility, I remove what I don't like, I change the life, I change the things that are self-sabotaging, I release all the suffering, and I do everything that I can every day for my greatest good. And once you have changed, once you fill yourself with that love and care, you radiate, and people will see that. They will come to you, and in a way, consciously or subconsciously, they will ask, what have you done? I want what you have. Because what you have is what they have as well. But they don't see it or they don't feel it because they haven't released that pain or that veil that is stopping them from seeing who they really are. So be your own example, deal with your own inner work, change your own inner world by removing what you see that you don't want. Follow that inner guidance and that inner master that you are and that always is speaking to you. That is always that silent, loving, and comfortable voice that is guiding you. Take left, don't take right. And you choose to listen or not to listen. You always know, no matter how this word that is being used now, conscious or unconscious you are always conscious. You always have a level of consciousness, and you always know what is your greatest good. You just choose to lie to yourself and to others and to continue to make the same mistakes and hurt yourself and others. You always know. You always know that what you do is against your own life and the life of others, or for life itself. You choose to work with lies, or you choose to work with truth. Once you start working with truth, you start asking yourself questions. You start looking for answers within you rather than outside. Rather than asking a person to make you feel good, or demanding that person to make you feel good, or blaming that person that they have changed their life because they've taken a decision to divorce you, let's say. Yeah, the other person is free to do what they want with their lives. If now they have chosen to marry you and then after a few months or years they see life differently and they feel within them that they want something completely different than what they wanted a year ago or 5 months ago or 3 years ago, that is absolutely fine. They are free to make their decisions. We are all here free to make our own decisions. And if you don't like the decision that this person is doing, that's because your love was always conditional for that person. That's because you always wanted that person to take responsibility for you and what you hold within you for your own life. And that is helping you switch. Okay, I see that I haven't been in control of my own life as I thought that I was. I need to look within myself and deal with these emotions that rise up instead of blaming that person for making a decision for their greatest good. Whatever decision a person takes in their own lives is always for their greatest good. Why? Because they are making it. And I'm not here to stop them from making a decision. I'm here to respect other people's decisions and take responsibility for my own life and my own decision and stop counting on others to change my own inner feelings. What am I feeling now and why? Ask yourself. Take a notebook if you feel that this is helping me. For me, writing things down, the lessons that I'm learning throughout the day, doing meditation, taking care of myself, exercise, filling myself with that energy, gives me more strength to see the truth within me and take responsibility for it. And apply the things that I want to apply in my life without postponing them. Being committed to my word, this has been one of my most difficult processes. I say most difficult because only recently I've truly become aware of it. I was always aware of it, but I never took responsibility for it. I always ignored it, which was being committed with my own word towards myself. And that was because I realized it strongly because I made some meetings with some people and I realized that I haven't fulfilled them. One way or another, I found ways to sabotage myself so I don't go to those meetings. And then those people had some reactions. Of course, they were triggered because they had to deal with their own things. And then after me looking in those situations, I was seeing, of course, how can I take commitment and be committed to what I say to others if I'm not committed to what I'm saying to myself. For example, I wanted for a long time to wake up earlier at 5. I wanted to record more videos. I wanted to write in the morning. I wanted to go in every morning in the park to do yoga. And sometimes I was able to do it, sometimes I wasn't. And when I wasn't able to do it was because I wasn't disciplined enough. A night before, maybe I was going to sleep 1 hour later than the hour that I wanted to go. So it was all about, okay, if I'm saying that tonight I'm going to sleep at 10, no matter what, I will go to sleep at 10. Why? Because I want to wake up at 5 tomorrow. Why do I want to wake up at 5? Because waking up at 5 gives me time to have a shower, gives me time to write in the morning, to read something, to arrange my room, take care of my environment, take care of my inner environment and my outer environment. This is self-love. This is how you charge yourself with energy. And then I go in the park, I do some yoga, I do some exercise, I do some meditation. I have even more energy within me, so even more to create throughout the day. I come back home, I have a delicious breakfast, I make it for myself the way I love it, balanced with all the nutrients that my body feels that my body is sending me signals that it wants and it needs in this process, because the body is always talking to us. Again, we choose to listen or not to. That's how we choose. We have diseases or we don't, by listening to what our body is telling to us. It's always about listening. Here, not there, here. If that is helping you listen more to here, beautiful. If that is helping you listen more to there, you're becoming more addicted to that. If that's what you want, that is absolutely fine. It's your experience, it's your choice. No one can judge you about that. But in the same time, we need to be responsible with our choices and not blame the others. If we choose to listen to another person and the other person takes us light years away from where we actually wanted to get to, we can't blame that person. They did what they knew what they've learned. We made the choice to listen to them. We are responsible for that choice, not them. We are always responsible for everything that is happening in our lives. And one way or another, everything that is happening is always for our greatest good if we choose to take responsibility for it. Yes, I did this. I'm learning from this. Now I'm going to apply differently. Why? Because I want different things in my life. I want to feel different things. I want to stop feeling this anger. I want to stop feeling this sadness, this depression all the time. I want to release this from me once and for all. I don't want to feel it again and again. I had enough of it. Good. Inner work with yourself. Ask yourself questions. Do more things that take care of you, of your body, rather than more things that sabotage you, that hurt your body, that hurt you, that create more suffering. It's all about habits. It's all about decisions. It's all about changing and replacing one with the other. You choose suffering or you choose happiness. It is a choice. It's not always easy, I know, to choose happiness, as crazy as that sounds. A lot of us and most of us are used to live in suffering. And because we've been used to live in suffering and self-sabotage for so many years, of course it seems difficult now to change and create habits of self-love, of self-care and nourishment in every and any way. Because we have been used to hurt ourselves, to work against ourselves and sabotage everything that we want to do for our greatest good. But it's about starting. Okay, I take one step today. What do I want to do? Well, I want to wake up in the morning and make myself a tea in the morning. Be feeling for a while to drink this tea, peppermint tea or this chamomile tea. I feel that my body is telling me that it wants chamomile tea or whatever tea. Well, in the morning, I'm going to wake up at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever time you feel that you want to wake up to, and that you feel that it's for your benefit, and I will have a tea in the morning, and I will listen to my favorite song or meditate for 5 minutes. Whatever you feel, because you know, no one else. You know, you have your own inner God and goddess that is always speaking to you and always knows what is your greatest good. You choose to listen and apply what you are being inspired to do, or you choose to ignore and continue to do what makes you suffer. That's how therapy is important, because through therapy, you release that energy that drives and influences those habits that make you in a way and influence you in a way to sabotage yourself and to make yourself suffer. Because you don't say, okay, I'm going to go now and open this pack of cigarette, I'm going to smoke it all because I know that it will kill me, because I know that I want to die. No, even though you know in the back of your head that it's not good for you, it's just something that influences you, is in a way takes control over you, and smokes. Because it's feeding itself in a way. The suffering is feeding through suffering. Death is feeding through death. But in a way, to stop that from having influence over you and making you suffer on the short term or long term, then we need to remove those energies that are there, or those limiting beliefs that are there, that influence you to act detrimental to your own journey, to your own life. No matter how many, maybe people have been healed, for example, in this case with cigarettes, through plasters, but maybe that self-sabotage itself has stopped expressing itself through smoking, but started expressing itself through eating, every day in McDonald's. I'm not saying eating at McDonald's is bad. Eating the same food that it doesn't have as many nutrients for the body on a long process can be detrimental. If you feel today to go to McDonald's to eat something because that's what you really feel now, you do that because you listen to your own guidance. But in this case, like with the cigarettes, you stopped smoking cigarettes because you had some plasters or you took some pills. This sabotaging self and energy is expressing itself through going to McDonald's and eating there every day. And on the long term, that diet will hurt your body in other ways. Or let's say you don't exercise for 1 year at all. Again, that place of staying in stagnation will not benefit your body on the long term. Or you eat too many sweets, let's say. You eat every day, you eat too many sweets. Again, that can have a detrimental effect. So if one of those self-sabotaging habits have stopped because you've done a particular treatment, that energy will manifest in different ways until you go deep within, you take it out of the roots, you throw it away, and you have light and more power and understanding there deep within, because you know why you were doing that to yourself. You truly understand, not just through knowledge. You have inside the feeling of understanding, yes, and a freedom. Everyone that I've done therapy with and this inner work, they've been feeling, wow, yeah, I feel so at peace with myself, so fulfilled. I feel happy. It's like, I don't even know what to know. I don't even know what, I've had my nephew the other day, he told me that after the therapy, he said that I feel so at peace. I feel so happy. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I like this feeling, because he was used before to be in a constant feeling of stress, of even anger, of being unsettled. And of course, after he experienced that peace and tranquility and that strength and power and fulfillment inside, it was like he didn't know how to react to it, because it's something completely new that you never knew that you have inside of you or that you can access. But through removing those things that feel uncomfortable, you remove those energies, those limiting beliefs and emotions, and then instead of that energy in that place, there's light and strength and fulfillment and happiness that will forever stay with you. And that strength will help you create new empowering habits. That's why it's important after that therapy to use that energy to create empowering habits. Yes, I've been wanting to go outside and run. For weeks I've been feeling this. Okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning because I feel now more strength, because you really feel it, not because just to say, oh, I feel more strength. You really feel it inside of you after the therapy. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to go out and run. And then that energy will be used to empower you to create new healthy habits. And the same will be acting like a branch. Okay, through this new empowering action, you feel more bright, more alive, you are acting more out of self-love for yourself, then you feel okay. Now I want to go to swim every once a week or twice a week. Good, I'm gonna do this. Now I feel inspired to have a massage. And this is gonna be, as I said, acting like a branch, and it will help you create new empowering habits that will completely replace the old self-sabotaging and suffering self with the new self that does everything for his greatest good out of self-love for himself. But until you remove those energies permanently, they will stop expressing themselves in a way, but start expressing in other ways, and will always be detrimental, will always find ways to sabotage you in one way or another, which you will sabotage yourself, of course, but influenced by those energies. So therapy is the groundwork for life. In my personal experience, I don't see any other investment, time, energy, money, greater than therapy and self-work. I don't want to call it self-healing, because I know that us, at our root, at our core, at the truth of who we are perfect, we are healthy. If you say, I need to do healing, that is that you're sick. No, you're not sick. You have energies there, yes, but you're not the energies. You have limiting programs there, yes, but you're not the programs. You are perfect the way you are, but you have these influences that are battling inside of your body, inside of your being, that you want to get rid of. So I call it deprogramming the self-sabotaging self, or the deprogramming the suffering, or deprogramming the limitation that I don't want to live by or with, and starting to live from the truth, the free truth of who I am, the God self. That's what I wanted to share with you from my own experience, from my own knowledge, after I have done my own inner work, and I'm still doing it, because you are always developing, growing, evolving. You're always understanding more, integrating more, becoming more powerful, and all that power is yours. You are that power. You are the power of the universe. You are the power of God. You are that God. God for me is not a person that stays in the sky and watches over us and commands us, do this, do this, do this, and punishes us because we do something wrong. God for me is life. What I understand through God is life, life force, unconditional love, creative power. That's what I understand through God. I used to understand through God seeing that person in the sky when I was a child, because the people around me in that society, that's what they were believing as well. And of course, I've learned the same. But now, after I've done so much work with myself, I've started to feel it inside of me, to speak with that God self, to speak with that life force, and listen to it and apply everything that it has been guiding me and inspiring me to do. And I see how beautifully and perfectly my life has transformed completely since I've started to listen. How much more strength and power I started to feel through my actions and words, because it's here and I've accessed it. How? By removing the old self that was always crying, was always a victim of the world, was always blaming everyone, was always trying to control everyone, all of their actions. Stop smoking, stop drinking, stop doing that, stop doing that. Oh, you should stop eating Nestle because it's full of chemicals. You should stop eating that because it's bad for you. Everyone is free to make their choices. Whatever they want to do, they need to do them. Why? Because it's their choice and it's the way they choose to experience life. If they see that through a particular experience they suffer, then they can make a choice and see, I don't want this in my life. Why? Because I'm suffering and I realize how much I'm suffering, and now I'm ready to move on a new habit to take care of myself. But if they don't have that experience fully for the time that they want to, until they realize that lesson, they will not be able to change for themselves. If they are changing for you, they will come back at it, because they're not here. No one is here to change for anyone. We are here to change for ourselves, for our inner love, because we want for ourselves our greatest good. If we don't want for ourselves our greatest good, then we're waiting for another person to care for us more. That's again making us addicted to the outside, dependent on the outside, a victim of the world. You are not a victim of the world unless you want to, unless you choose to. Be your own inner God. Be your own inner goddess. And for that, you need to take responsibility for what is within you. It's the only way. The tunnel with the white light at its end is within. It's not outside. And that white light at the end of that tunnel, that dark tunnel, which consists of negative emotions and limiting beliefs, that light at the end is you, your infinite self, your divine self, your God self, your unconditional love self, your self-acceptance self, and self-love. If you're looking for that, for the truth of who you are, go in the tunnel and find help. Find help. There are thousands of people out there that do this. I am doing this as we see on YouTube. There's so many people that we resonate with or we don't, because that's the thing. It's not a particular person that someone tells you, oh, go with that person because I've been working with them and they've been helping me a lot. Okay, I will have a look and I see how I feel. Do I resonate with this person? Do I feel that I can trust this person with my life, with my feelings, with my emotions, with my things that happened in my childhood, or with things that I've been hiding from everyone? Do I feel free to open up to this person? Do I feel that I can trust this person? Or I want to say yes because you've been recommended it to me and I don't want you to feel bad? This is your life here. If you resonate with that person, you go for it. Because you feel to, not because someone is telling you to. Because whatever other person can be right for one of your friends or one of your relatives or one of your acquaintances can be detrimental for you if you are not feeling to work with that person, because everyone has a particular way of working and guiding you and teaching you, and your own inner vibration, your own inner guidance is telling you yes or no. Look within. Don't look at how much knowledge they have, how much they know. Do I feel that this person can help me come in contact with my truth, with the truth of who I am? Ask yourself that. Yes? No. If it's yes, ask yourself why. Because I feel that it helps you go within. It helps you stay centered. Or no, why not? Because I feel that they are looking for attention, or I feel that they are too aggressive and I don't like that energy. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with that person. It's just that I don't resonate with that person, and that's absolutely fine. You go and work with the person that you resonate with. It's easy once you listen to your own inner master. Listen, follow the guidance, and it will always be for your greatest good. That's my advice after a long 30 years in which the only place that I've listened to was the outside. The only place where I was looking for myself and for my half that I thought that I lost was in the outside world. I thought that half of my soul is in the outside world, and I looked always for the half of my soul. And I never found it. I found more and more suffering with the more I was looking for. And that suffering and me giving my power completely to the outside and changing my life completely for the outside, that suffering in a way helped me desperately want to come out of it, desperately wanted to find myself. And that desperation brought me here. I said, I had enough of being a slave to the world. I had enough for the world to make my decisions. I had enough for me to make my decisions based on the outside world. No, I am my own God. I am my own life. I make my own decisions based on what I feel within me. Why? Because only I know what is my greatest good. Who knows? Does my mother know? Does my father know? Does my friends know? Do the president know? No, I know. Only I know. No one has more power over me. No one has more power than I have. Everyone has the same power because we are all life. We are all the same life. No one can tell you what to do, how to do it. No one. As long as what you are doing is not against the person, if you are expressing your inner creativity, your inner life, you live in the way you choose to live, and you're not hurting another, attacking another, live your life out of respect for life. Because once you learn to respect yourself and the life within you, you automatically respect the life everywhere. And you have those universal guidelines. I don't want to call them laws or guidelines. The universe always helps you stay in balance. The universe doesn't punish you. You make a choice and you attract into your life in accordance with the choice that you made. We are always responsible for the trajectory upon which we choose to live on. No one else. We can't say that we've been controlled, that we've been manipulated. Yes, there is control and manipulation. That is part of life. But you allow it or you don't. It's always down to you. Are you being abused? Do you allow it or you don't? Do you stay in that environment or you don't? Do you let your own anger take over you and attack the other as well? Or you don't. You say, no, I'm wiser than this. I'm not going to become angry. I'm going to go deep within my own inner peace, compassion, because I love myself. And anger or those negative emotions do not help me, do not help my body, do not help my consciousness, do not help my health. And because I love myself, I will remove myself from this environment. Or I will just stay deep within and just allow them to speak whatever they speak, because I know that whatever others are speaking, they are just hurting themselves. Be responsible for yourself if you want a greater life for yourself, if you want different, if you want happiness that is always within you through the tunnel. Help yourself, look for help, the help that you resonate with, because you always know what works and what doesn't work. Listen to that inner guidance. We all have it. We all have it. No matter where we are, no matter if you're spiritual or not spiritual, you are all spiritual. We are all spiritual in a way because we are all energy. I see spiritual as energy. And we are all energy at our core. We are all, even beyond that energy, we are the space that creates the energy. That infinite space that creates the negative, the positive, the energy, the chi. We are that space, that unmanifested, that creates anything and everything. You choose if you want to identify yourself with something or to remain that space of stillness, of presence, to look at your emotions, to look at your life circumstances, see what needs to be changed, see what you want, what you don't want in your life, make the necessary adjustments, make the right decisions that you feel, and create differently from that space of presence. There's so many teachers now of presence, of awareness everywhere, that if you choose to be committed to integrate that state and to integrate in the state that you are, in that real you, you can do it. It's all about commitment. Do I want to identify myself with these emotions? Or do I want to learn to stay strong in who I am beyond them? What do you want? What do you want to create in your life? How do you want to make it happen? And what habits do you want to create this new reality through? Life is easy. Ask yourself the right questions. Look for that inner guidance. And go with your own flow. Because you are the flow. You decide in which direction to go. Inside, to the truth of who you are, to discover who you are, and then outside, or you're trying to to discover for the truth of who you are through outside, through others, through experiences. You are not there. You are here, beyond the tunnel. The light is in here. Look for that. Inwards. I salute you. I love you. And I send you strength, courage to take inspired actions for your greatest good that only you know. Always. Now. You always know. Now. Not tomorrow, not in a year. Now. What is that change that you've been feeling to make for a long time, but that self-sabotaging influence has stopped you from making it, from acting it out in your life? Charge yourself through doing what is best for you, investing in your greatest good and in what resonates with your heart. Take care of your heart, of your body, of your soul, of who you are. And speak truth, act truth, be truthful with yourself. Be understanding with yourself if that's what you want in your life. You can't want others to understand you when you don't listen and understand yourself. Start to ask yourself questions, speak to yourself, spend time with yourself. Take care.